Our next candidate is Levi Clow from the City of North Bend, and he has 2 minutes to introduce himself.
We good to go? All right. Hello, my name is Levi Clow, and I'm seeking election for a seat on North Bend City Council. I'm a medically retired veteran who has seen this mismanagement of our city, and I've had enough of it. I'm not a politician, but rather a citizen who has time and energy to help fix our city. There's been a huge misuse of our limited resources, and that needs to be addressed. I also want to find a more cost-effective way to open our pool. Having been in the Coast Guard, I feel very strongly about teaching our youth about water safety. The aging infrastructure and equipment of the North Bend pool has pushed the city into deficit and essentially putting it on the chopping block for the budget. I would also like to revisit the idea of building our waterfront up using urban renewal funds or private enterprises. It has been stated by a local group that it's not feasible financially, but I strongly disagree with that. I feel that we have an area of untapped use that could help the city both financially, aesthetically, and bring more tourism to our area. There's always a different way for funding that doesn't always require the city to fund projects. An example of that would be Coos Village, which is being built on vacant land. This was once land that was thought to be useless by the community. I know I'm not as experienced as building budgets and politics, but what I am good at is finding alternative methods for growth and thinking outside the box and using common sense to fix these issues. I've used this in my own business to do stuff that nobody around here has done and bring services to the area that has not been here. I'm not the one to hear the words, "it can't be done," and just take it as word gospel. I like to use common sense and work on the plans that we have in front of us.
Okay, now our first question is, how would you improve communication between the city government and the citizens of North Bend?
Well, COVID actually kind of helped that. I mean, we're doing interviews on Zoom right now, and I think that's a good resource for us on the city council is to do more virtual. Right now, they send a flyer out, which is kind of a waste of money because not everyone reads it. Most people have Facebook or any social media. I actually don't have Facebook, but most people do. I think if we use more of the resources out there that are free, we can possibly get the rest of the city to see what's going on, because I think there's a lack of transparency that's going on. And I think that was what the biggest issue is with the last vote with the water bill and the $30 fee. I think there's just a lack of transparency. And I think social media, Zoom, recording every city council meeting, that way you don't have to attend them, you can still watch them from home. And I think that was the biggest issue, is people with kids or jobs weren't able to always go to the city council meetings, and using programs like this, Zoom or YouTube, will allow them to actually see what the city is doing.
The next question, what should the city of North Bend's approach be to the problem of the unhoused?
I don't think it's fair to say that we should only fix homelessness. I think we have a lack of actual available homes in the area. We're landlocked, unlike our neighbor to Coos Bay, where they have room to move. We're pretty stuck on how much land we have. I think making more affordable homes would be beneficial. And for the homeless, I really think that we should get with Operation Rebuild Hope and nonprofits like that, and let them take the burden of it on with our assistance, because they have more resources and more time and staffing that are specialized for that exact situation. You know, in a lot of the homelessness, you get alcohol abuse and drug abuse, and also I think maybe counseling would be a good situation to help that. But I think the best way to start is to try to figure out how we can create more affordable housing for people, so they're not having to pay such high rents, whether it be Section 8 or whatever. We need to find more affordable housing for the general public that's not only done to buying homes or renting high dollar homes.
Given the continuing crisis of global climate change, what would be your approach to protection of the environment?
I I'm kind of on the fence of this one. I will agree that yes, our climate is changing, but I will disagree that it is human caused entirely. I'm not saying that we haven't maybe contributed to it, but we haven't been on this earth and studied it enough to know whether or not we are the ones affecting the earth. I mean, we did have an ice age. We have had global warming before. How we do it around here, more recycling and more, if we can get more natural gas in here so it doesn't take more of a drain on our electrical system. I'm a huge proponent for Jordan Cove if they follow the correct permitting. I'm not one to just push it through just to push it through. I think that there's a permit process for a reason, and if they follow it through, then I'm fine with it. There's been talk about offshore windmills and wind farms. I don't necessarily think that that's actually as renewable as people think it is. The blades and maintenance on that are not indefinite. And plus the amount of fuel and carbon emissions it takes to get ships on site to build those, it's going to take a while to offset that carbon footprint. I'd like to see maybe some Tesla charging stations. We have quite a few Teslas that are starting to pop up here, so maybe some more electric vehicle charging stations would be good. And just maybe look at trying to figure out how we can try to get some of our areas more to solar. And I know that solar sounds funny around here, but it does work, not as efficiently, but it does work in cloudy environments. So maybe try to get with the state and figure out more incentives for the more solar and get away from more fossil fuel kind of energy like that.
The next question, is there waste in the city budget? If so, where would you make cuts and why?
There's always waste in a budget. The one example that's really got me boggled is the fake Christmas tree that they bought last year for $30,000. I didn't understand why they haven't maybe got to a logging company, see if they could donate a tree, or why we never planted a tree in our city square. That way the children of our area can watch it grow. The excuses were, oh, well, it costs a lot of money and for the staff to decorate it. Well, I know there's a lot of churches around here who would probably be more than willing to volunteer their time to decorate that tree. As far as other wastes go, kind of seems like roads get patched but never fixed. I'm kind of a big firm believer of spend once, cry once, and fix stuff right. There's always different revenue streams. We've got the urban renewal fund. I think what they're doing downtown is great. It also kind of seems like some of the guys, the companies that are getting these urban renewal funds are part of the good old boy club that, it's people who know people who are the ones getting these jobs. I really like just to sit down and figure out, like the pool was losing, I estimated $300,000 a year. Try to figure out a new way, either a private company to buy the pool and redo it, or completely sell the land off, figure out a way to get the pool open that's not going to cost our city the money. The Coast Guard would be a good resource to maybe partner with them to figure out if they can build a pool, because they send all their aviation crew for their annual flight dunks when they take a helicopter and flip it over. Maybe try to figure out if the Coast Guard can build that facility here, with also on the side having the pool, having swimming lanes. Possibly the college could pay for that too. I think we need to look outside of our own city to figure out how we can get funds, more grants, more private entities, private enterprises to help fund our little pet projects that we have in the city.
Time. Good, we're done. So you have 1 minute to wind up.
Like I said before, I'm not a politician. I'm well aware of that. I'm only 32 years old. I'm at a point in my life where I have the time and energy to give to the city that I live in. And I'm not one to sit back and just relax and watch it happen. I don't like how the city council, someone will say something and they'll say, agree, and it'll get voted through. No one questions anything. And I think that needs to change. I'm not one to just sit back and let stuff go. If I don't feel it's right, I'll stand up and talk about it. That's been pretty well established in media centers lately with me. I just, I feel strongly about our city, and I want to push it forward and try to make it more modern than it is. I feel that we're just in a rut, and we need to get out of that rut.
Thank you, Levi. That was great.